Hey, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. I am Bill DeWees, and tonight this is all about how to start and build a six-figure voiceover business. I just want to say up front that I believe wholeheartedly that voiceover is the best home-based business opportunity. And I don't say that just as a matter of speculation or as a matter of theory. It's after working personally with hundreds of voiceover talent and communicating with thousands over the past 6 years. As a few examples, this is Anthony, who sent me this message to let me know that he's now making just over six figures a year recording voiceovers from home. And in this email, the person would ask not to be identified, but who has been steadily growing their voiceover business and has exceeded the $20,000 a month. That's $20,000 a month working and recording voiceovers from home. And then Keith, who this message comes almost exactly a year ago, where he let me know that he's been building his voiceover business as on the side as a part-time endeavor. His goal is to make $24,000 a year. Last year, he hit $40,000, and I just found out recently that he will be hitting somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 this year, again as a part-time, at-home voiceover talent. And then this very nice handwritten note, which came from Todd, to let me know that he has hit six figures in his voiceover career. Again, just a few examples. And if I were you sitting there, I'd want to know, okay, now who is this guy, and what right does he have to tell me how to build a six-figure voiceover business? I want to share a few things to let you know that this is what I do. I don't just tell people how to do it. I do it. I literally wrote the book on how to start and build a six-figure voiceover business. And I've recorded over 10,000 voiceover projects over the past 12 years. And here's a short list of some of my clients, including Apple and Coca-Cola and Walmart and Walt Disney and Warner Brothers and Fox and the PGA Tour, the Billy Graham Association and QVC, Best Buy, Hitachi, SAP, Morgan Stanley, and it goes on and on. And it's not just, I share these with you because I know these are brands that you recognize, but also I record a lot of projects for small to medium-sized companies and businesses, not just here in the US, not just in North America, but literally all over the world. I've also, and there's a reason I'm sharing this with you, I'm also, as of just a few months ago, the voice of Lego City Policeman, the toy. I've recorded voiceovers for video games like Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, Skyforce, which is a big multiplayer online game. I also recently recorded a character voice for the commercial trailer for Clash of Clans. I'm consistently one of the most listened to talents on voices.com, and tens of thousands of people of talent from around the world are listed on the website. So I'm somebody who's very actively involved in the voiceover business. And my talent, I mean, the talent that I work with and coach, my students, also see success and get hired. In addition to that, I sit in what you're seeing is a screenshot of live video stream. I have a group coaching program in which I stream live from my studio every day, so they actually get to watch me work. They see me record and audition and deal with clients and all that goes with building a voiceover business. They get to see. So my point being that this is something I don't just talk about it. I don't just teach it. I actually do it. This is my full-time career. And so tonight I want to share with you the 3 steps to build a six-figure home-based voiceover business. And here's the good news for which we can all celebrate. No previous experience required. Does that fit you? How many of you have no voiceover experience or nothing that you would really consider technically to be voiceover? Just say yes in the yeah. There's quite a few. No experience. So the good news is this is just as much for you as it is for anybody. And so what you're going to learn tonight is this. The 3 crucial elements. Here they are. Step 1, how to use free online resources to get clients contacting you in less than a week. We'll also, in step 2, talk about you're going to learn how to create and record pro home audio affordably. You're going to learn how to book your first job in the next week and get paid. Those are our 3 keys tonight. So who is this webinar for? Do you want to work from home? And just let me know by saying yes or okay, okie dokie, yeah, right on in the question box. Do you want to work from home? Yeah, do you want to make six figures or more per year? And are you fed up with your current situation? Are you ready for something new and something different and to get a better situation for yourself? If so, this is for you. Today's voiceover business is not yesterday's voiceover business. And this picture here represents, in large part, what voiceover used to be. It used to be primarily men and guys with the big, deep voices, the big, resonant, deep voices. But today's voiceover market, while certainly there are people with big, deep voices who can get work, and perhaps you're one of them, in a lot of the work, I would go so far as to say, even most of the work, a big, deep voice is not required or even desired, because what today's voiceover clients are looking for are real people. Are you a real person? Yeah. They're looking for everyday real people who can relate to other everyday real people. And to illustrate that, I took the liberty of going through some casting samples where people, were looking for voiceover talent, and just took a little snippet so you can see and get an idea of what clients are looking for. Look at this. Please use your natural voice. Simple and straightforward, sincere. No announcers. No over-the-top announcers. Not announcery. Needs to be relatable and trustworthy. You need to sound real, like an employee really said this. Happy, upbeat, white male to African American males, Asian female, real guy, energetic, personable. I think you get the idea. This is the norm. Okay, this is the norm when it comes to casting for voiceover. So, do you think if that is the case, that people like you and I, this is a place where we could maybe kind of plant our flag and make something real happen? Well, I'm here to tell you tonight that you certainly can. And it's not just a man's game, as I said. This is open to all nationalities, ages, ethnicities, because clients, as you can see, are really looking for everything. Are you concerned about what you're going to set up in your home, about setting up a home studio? Perhaps it's too expensive, or maybe it's too hard to understand. You're not a techie. That's certainly understandable. And you don't have to worry about that. It's a whole different world today. As a matter of fact, to illustrate that, this is from the Daily Journal, local newspaper, who did a story on me. This is from back in May 2009. I was a few years into my voiceover career at that point. They'd gotten wind that I record voiceovers from my bedroom closet. And they came in, and this picture, in the interest of full disclosure, this is not, I couldn't find the picture from the newspaper. So this is a stock photo, but this is eerily similar to the picture that was in the newspaper, except my ugly mug was in front of the microphone. So imagine me sitting there in front of a microphone with shirts and pants and such hanging behind me. And so I built my six-figure voiceover business literally in my closet with equipment that I did not have more than $300 invested in total. And that included an old used Windows computer. So that's not something that you have to worry about. It's a different ballgame, and I'll explain more about that in a bit. So let's talk about what voiceover work is. Let's define that. Well, have you ever heard those commercials on TV and in radio where there's a voice promoting a product or a service? That is a voiceover. When you watch TV and you hear that voice jump on that says, stay tuned tonight at 9 o'clock, blah, 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 for the news or for, this next program that's coming up. Somebody got paid to do that. That's a voiceover. And we've all seen the movie trailers. And also cartoon characters. Every voice you've ever heard on a cartoon, that is a paid voiceover talent who got to stand behind a microphone and do this, literally record those voices and be paid for it. But that's the most obvious. Those are the things that most people think about. What a lot of people don't realize is that's just the very tip top of the iceberg. There is so much more to it than that. Ever listen to an audiobook? The audiobook market is huge right now. Now, my wife, and I listen to audiobooks, but my wife is always listening to an audiobook. And, she wasn't a big reader before, but now with the availability of audiobooks, she's always listening. And that's reflected in national and global trends. Ebook sales are down 12%. But audiobooks now account for the biggest growth in the publishing market. Sales are up 31% since 2015. It's a $3.5 billion market. 36,000 audiobooks are recorded a year. Now, here's the thing. Each one of those 36,000 audiobooks needs somebody like you to record it. There is a big demand right now for voiceover talent in certainly all types of markets, but especially in the audiobook market. That's kind of exciting. Also, and there's more, online videos for products and services, video games, digital toys. Ever think that might be fun to be a voice for a video game or digital toy? It is, I'll tell you from experience. Telephone recordings, those on hold messages. Almost every business now has some sort of professional on hold message. They paid somebody to do that. Apps, a lot of apps now require voiceover. Those commercials you see in the movie theater before the trailers and the movie starts itself. Yeah, there's somebody being paid to record those. And again, that's just a sample. There's much, much more than that. Get this, 240 hours of video uploaded to YouTube every second of every day. Many of those videos require voiceovers. More voiceover has been recorded on YouTube videos than in the history of voiceover prior to that. YouTube has been a huge factor in the growth of this market, and it doesn't show any signs of slowing. Look at the video game market, $99.6 billion in revenue in 2016, and it's forecast to exceed $118 billion by 2019. I remember my first game was a Mattel Intellivision, and there were no voices there, but now every voiceover game usually requires a lot of voices. A lot of these, there's a lot of role playing, and they're major productions. As a matter of fact, there's more than 2 billion gamers, and the market itself is larger than the movie and the music industries combined. Did you know that? It's huge. I'm going the wrong direction here. Okay, let's move into our 3 steps right now. Step number 1, I'm going to teach you how to use free online sources to get clients contacting you in less than a week. First of all, we are going to bypass the talent agency. It used to be traditionally that was the way you got work. You had to go through the gatekeeper. And, there are still talent agents. Less than 2% of my entire income comes through talent agents. So we can bypass that. As a matter of fact, I just to illustrate that, I pulled a couple of emails that I received today. Literally, this is just from a couple of hours ago. Here's a client that found me online and is hiring me to do 2 scripts, $500 a piece, $1,000. I'll record those tomorrow. It will take me less than an hour to record those. Here's an email that came in. This was pretty exciting. There is, and I can't mention, and I've blocked out who's looking for, but there's a company that wants to hire me to do their TV and radio ads next year, and they're offering me $120,000, and that's just for usage. And then there's another probably $25,000 to $30,000 in session fees. And here's check this out. Let me know if this is something you'd be open to. The biggest thing I had to fight was the excitement, to grab the telephone and say, yes, sign me up. I had to remain all cool and calm and professional about it. So that's something I'm very excited about. And I'm not saying this is typical by any means. This doesn't happen to me every day or every week, not even every year. But when you're positioned properly, you get lots of opportunities. And you don't have to go to New York or Los Angeles to do this. You can do it just like I do it every day from the comfort of your own home. And we're going to do this using technology. So this is very telling right here. 75% of ad agencies use an online marketplace to find, hire, and pay voiceover talent. Only 19% use talent agencies. It used to be nearly 100%. Today, it's only 19%, which means you and I have lots of opportunity available to us. And it's because of computerization, because of the internet. It is a freelance revolution. And this is just as true for the voiceover business as it is for any other business. Okay, here, ready to take some notes? Write this one down. Fiverr, Fiverr.com. I believe this is the best place for somebody who's just beginning in voiceover to get your start. Now, if you were starting a new job or a new career, would you expect to start off in the penthouse suite, corner office, with a huge salary? First day, first week? No, of course not. That's not the way careers work. You get your foot in the door and you begin to build a resume and reputation, and you begin to do the work. And that's what Fiverr is about. Let me tell you why I like it. And by the way, I've got students who are generating full-time incomes, some six figures, just from Fiverr alone. So there's a lot of money here to be made. But let me tell you why I like this so well. In addition to being easy to use, because number one, it's free. I like that. Also, there's not a screening process. So this is all you have to do is set up an account to do this. And the only fees that are involved are when you make money, Fiverr takes a 20% cut. It's essentially their agency fee, but they don't charge you to be there. More importantly than that, they spend a massive amount of marketing dollars to drive traffic, voice seekers, those looking for voiceover talent, to drive them to their website to find you. So essentially, they do all of the marketing, and they don't charge you to set up shop on here. So they drive traffic to you. And those are the reasons that I think Fiverr is such a great place to start. And like I said, I've got a lot of students right now who are seeing some great success on Fiverr. And here's just a few examples. Dane was showing how, and through some of our Fiverr training, we've been able to show people how to take gigs, small gigs. In this case, like here's a little $15 job, but through extras, he learned the strategies to turn that into a $120 job. So there are upsells that you can do. It could be as simple as providing faster delivery, providing a higher quality audio file, putting music behind it. But again, those are the things that we teach our students. But Dane, again, doing very well. So well, as a matter of fact, you can see right here. Here's a little graph to show his first week, or first month rather, I should say. It looks like he made maybe about $100. And then his second week, or second month rather, a little over 200. And then by his fifth month, he had made over $1,400 that month. And so, that's when you're getting involved in Fiverr, you're not going to get rich the first month or even the second month. But what you do is you begin to build a clientele and you begin to build cash flow, and it turns into real money. And here's Troy, who says, if I can do it, anyone can. He's made $23,000 so far, and his earnings in August were $4,500. And this is on Fiverr. And Gary, who said, I honestly just I'm astonished at how this program has been for him and how much he's learned and changed as a result. Donnie, who's showing his first 4 months, and you can see by his fourth month, he had made $2,500 that month, and you can see the steady increase from month to month to month. Now, one of the things that I want you to do is to learn to avoid the income ups and downs, because a lot of people, especially those who did this years ago and come from the older school of voiceover, they kind of live from job to job, and it might be a bigger job, but those jobs sometimes only come along once, twice a year, sometimes once every several years, and it's kind of feast or famine. So let me ask you, don't you think it would be a little bit better to know that you are getting money on a consistent weekly and monthly basis? I mean, does that sound appealing to you? It sounds appealing to me, but it also sounds more appealing to my wife, because she loved the idea once I built this business that she knew that we wouldn't have to worry about paying the mortgage or, buying groceries or paying the car bills. Now, let me ask you, how many of you have ever used Craigslist? You ever used, or have you heard of Craigslist? Do you know somebody who's used Craigslist? Yeah. Did you know, though, that you can get voiceover work through Craigslist? A lot of people are surprised when I mention that, but Craigslist equals free leads. It's all about, and here are my tips on Craigslist. It's all about consistency. And to utilize Craigslist, you really have to think of it as mining for gold. And you need to be prepared to search it a couple of times at least a day, because it's truly a matter where the proverbial early bird gets the worm. Speed matters. Because as you can imagine, when somebody posts something on Craigslist, their inbox begins to fill up with interested people in doing those particular jobs. So monitoring it on a regular basis is really important. But here's some of the students that I've worked with, just to give you an idea. Here's Lewis, who said he got his first narration gig through Craigslist ad, thanks to me. Started implementing my Craigslist strategy, got a response on the first day. Keith says that my Craigslist strategy paid for some training that he bought from me on his very first job. And I put this picture in here. This is a picture of the SAG-AFTRA Awards at the Kodak Theater in Los Angeles. Actually, one of the coolest jobs I ever got hired for was through Craigslist, and it was to do an announcement for a nonprofit thanking all of the actors and actresses of SAG-AFTRA for their involvement. The irony in all of that was that I'm a non-union actor, and I was doing this for for other actors, and I narrated this piece where Harrison Ford and Julia Roberts and Matt Damon and a bunch of others were part of that as well. So it was kind of fun to be a part of it, but it was I had to chuckle to myself to know I'm just a guy who got this job on Craigslist. Also, let's talk about the telephone. Now, if you're like me, you may not like to make what we like to call cold calls. And when people think of cold calls, they think of calling people and trying to sell them something. If I could show you a way to make a phone call in which it would make it easy for you, and easy for somebody else to say yes, is that something that you would want to learn about? Well, Rick Shockley felt the same way, and he's found that my cold calling technique has been his most effective tool in gaining clients. So here's what I want to tell you about the telephone. The telephone can be one of your most effective tools, and it's not about selling. And that's the great thing about the telephone. I've never called somebody and said, hey, will you hire me? Hey, I really want to work for you. It's never been that. I'm a very low-key guy. I'm an introvert by nature, and so I'm very low-key on the telephone. And what I do is I teach people how to have a conversation with a client in such a way that they're simply asking if they're accepting demos, not asking to be hired. And so Craigslist, write that down. That's another great way to find work. All right, now let's move on to step 2, which is how to create and record pro home audio affordably. If you're going to record voiceovers from home, you need to be able to produce quality audio. Does that make sense? Yeah, but it's intimidated people in the past. But what I want to show you here, this picture, this is your home studio. How many of you own a computer? Anybody own a computer? How many of you have internet access? Just say yes if you have internet access. Yeah, that's why you're here, right? Do you have headphones or even just earbuds, like iPhone earbuds? Well, what you're looking at literally could be your studio. A computer, it doesn't matter whether it's Windows or a Mac, plugged into this particular microphone actually is a microphone that I highly recommend. It's a USB microphone, which means you need no other equipment between it and the computer. It plugs directly in with a USB cable. It's an Apogee mic. And there you go. There's a picture of it on Amazon. It goes for about $200. If you buy it with cords that allow you to hook up to your iPhone and iPad, it's $30 more. But this microphone, even though it's not uber expensive as voiceover mics go, will give you high professional quality sound. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm talking to you through right now. And I know other top tier voiceover talent, they use this. I know one guy out in Los Angeles who does a lot of work for the networks, and he carries one in his glove compartment. And when the network needs a promo for a TV show, they call him. And if he's in his car, he'll pull over and he'll pull out this microphone out of his glove compartment. He'll hook it up to his iPhone. He'll record the lines for the network and he'll email them right over. So what I'm telling you is it's a really good microphone. Versus a $1,000 microphone, most people would never know the difference. And I'm here to tell you that almost all of your clients wouldn't know the difference. So, and again, it's not the only option out there, but it's one that's tested and true, and one I feel very confident in recommending. I don't get anything for that, by the way. I don't get reimbursed by Apogee for saying that, but I just think it's a really great option for people who are recording from home or on the go. You want to do it mobily as well. And here's another piece of equipment that you might want to make note of. One of the challenges of recording from home is you want to make sure that you find the quietest space that you can and that it's well treated. And when I say well treated, what I mean is you don't want your voice bouncing off the walls and getting that big hollow reverb sound. And there are different ways you can take care of that, but this little piece of gear here, it looks like a Nerf ball, but it's actually an engineered piece of acoustic material that fits around your microphone and essentially becomes a mini studio around your microphone. It helps to cut down outside noise, and it helps to soften those sound waves to give you a more professional sounding audio signal through your microphone. So with the Apogee mic, a computer, and a chaotic eyeball, you're in pretty good shape. Really, the only other thing you have to have is recording software. And here's another tip for you. You can get this for free. The program is called Audacity, and I've got the URL up there, the download link. So if you go to audacityteam.org/download, you can download it. It will work with, they have a Windows version, they have a Mac version. You will need a program to record and edit in, and this is a program that will allow you to do that and to do it absolutely free. Now let's talk about your performance. Recognize this guy? You may not recognize his face, but I guarantee you would recognize his voice. The late Don Pardo. He was the voice of Saturday Night Live, the big voice. And he is more the the stereotypical voiceover talent that we used to think of him this way, the big male voice, the big authoritative voice. But today, nowadays, again, as I mentioned before, clients are looking for people who are genuine and real and who can be authentic, who can tell it and not sell it. And again, just to remind you, this is what clients are looking for. And when you boil it down, really what it comes down to is learning to speak from your heart and not your head. If you went out and saw the best movie you had ever seen, and you wanted to go tell your best friend because you wanted your best friend to see this movie and experience what you experienced, would you worry about your elocution, your articulation, your projection, your speed and your pacing, what words you emphasized? No, it would be from your heart, this sincere excitement about how much you enjoyed it and you want them to enjoy it too. That is what clients are looking for. They're looking for sincerity. And what I want to do now is actually give somebody an opportunity to read this for us so that I can coach you through it to give you a better idea of how that works and what that sounds like. And Fred's going to assist me. If you would like to be coached right now through the script, simply put yes in the question box.
Okay, first got one.
All right, let's do it.
Let me get Hubert Williams here. Hubert, let me grab you real quick. I'll unmute you here shortly. Get ready, have your mic ready, and it's going to happen as soon as they charge you. There it is, Hubert. You're on right now. Go ahead.
Hey, Hubert.
Hubert, you're on. Hubert's mic may not be hooked up. I'm going to move on. Hubert, we may get back to you. Okay, let me try the next one here. Let's see. Kelly. Okay, Kelly, I'm going to get you ready. Make sure your mic's ready. Kelly Clark, where are you? Right here. Here you go. Kelly, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
I'm here.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi there. How are you?
Good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm very excited to talk to you. Where are you located?
I live in Gastonia, North Carolina.
I stayed there for a summer.
Did you really?
Yeah, many years ago. Many years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I loved it down there. But, so very nice. You're the first person I've talked to from Gastonia since I lived there. Decades.
How about that?
So, Kelly, have you ever recorded a voiceover?
I have not, but I've actually been interested in doing it for several years.
Perfect. Okay, great. So what I want you to do for me right now, can you see the script okay on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. What I want you to do for me, you've never seen this before, so let's do this. Let's read through it. Just read through it twice for me with no direction from me. The first time, don't worry about how you read it or how it sounds. Just read it, just to say it out loud, to figure out what it is. And then just go ahead and read it a second time as if this was an audition for a job. Give me whatever feels right to you, and then I'll direct you from there, okay?
Okay, that's fine. This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home, Caldwell Banker, where home begins. Every home has a story. Tell yours at caldwellbanker.com. This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home, Caldwell Banker, where home begins. Every home has a story. Tell yours at caldwellbanker.com.
Okay, good. Okay, that's a good place for us to start. So now, every script, I don't care what it is, every script tells a story. Our job is to tell the story. And so we have to understand the context. So Kelly, as you read this, did you visualize it at all? Like if it was a TV commercial, what would that look like to you? What did you see?
I sort of envisioned a couple in front of a home standing there with a realtor looking at it like, wow, this is our home.
Good. Okay, now the key to get a good read is to make this very personal to you.
Okay.
So, when you think home and family, does that make you feel good and warm and fuzzy and all of that kind of thing?
Absolutely.
And the reason I ask is because sometimes it doesn't for everybody, and that's part of the process is just being honest and knowing where you're at with it, because people will pick up on whatever you feel. And here's one of the keys of voiceover: is you have to get hired for a job, you've got to feel something when you read it, because if you feel it, they'll feel it, and if they feel it, they believe you, and if they believe
Right.
you, then they'll hire you. Okay, so let's make it personal. When you think of home, you get warm and fuzzy. Tell me about your family.
Oh my, I have 4 children,
Oh wow.
five grandchildren, believe it or not. I still can't believe that. We don't own our own home at the moment, but we do rent a nice home. And I keep my grandchildren often, so this is a place where everybody comes to.
Can you? That's awesome. I have 3 grandchildren myself, so I know that is a wonderful feeling when everybody's there. Do you have any specific memories, that when you think about it, it just makes you sigh and maybe even almost cry?
Oh gosh, maybe birthday parties,
Can you think of
Christmases here, you know.
Can you think of a specific event, a specific thing that's happened that stands out in your mind? Maybe one little thing, one little detail.
Well, actually, with my youngest grandson, he's 2, and he's just started speaking within the last couple of months. And pulling into the driveway, um, he just pointed to the house and said, "Home."
Oh, oh wow. Kelly, now read the script.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Caldwell Banker, where home begins. Every home has a story. Tell yours at caldwellbanker.com.
Oh, Kelly, you're getting it. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to slow down, and I
Okay.
want you just to relax your voice and take your time this time. And I want you to think about, your grandchild saying home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Caldwell Banker, where home begins.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick. Just go back to the beginning and just relax a little bit more. Now you're starting to try. Don't try. Just okay, go. Just think about your grandchild.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Caldwell Banker, where home begins. Every home has a story. Tell yours at caldwellbanker.com.
Kelly, that was really good. That's
Thank you.
that's really, and it's all about, that was you. You know what I mean? That was your heart and soul. And we could feel that. That meant something to you. That's how you
Oh,
get
that's
hired.
good.
Clients
Awesome.
love that.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent.
Do you have time for another, Bill?
Yeah, let's do another one.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. How about Mike? Let me see, Mike Weiler. Let's see here if I can find you, Mike. Give me a second. Give me a second. Mike, you are on now. Go ahead, Mike. I don't see your mic attached though, Mike. Mike, there you are. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, Mike.
All right.
Hey, good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you. How you doing this evening?
I'm good, thank you. And where do you live?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh man, Minneapolis in October I hear is much better than Minneapolis in February.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I love your Mall of America, but don't expect to see me anywhere near there over the next few months. Okay, Mike,
That place was open 5 years before I went inside it the first time.
isn't that the way it always works? We never go to the places that are close by. So have you ever recorded a
Right.
voiceover before?
Voiceover, no. I did some public radio announcing news and weather
Oh,
for
okay.
a few months, a couple of years ago.
Okay. All right. Well, what I want you to do, same thing that Kelly just did, but I'm giving you a different script, okay? This is for a hospital.
Okay.
And I want you, let's
Right.
do the same thing. Just read through it twice. The first time, you've never seen this before. So just read through it, get a feel for it, and then go back, read it again in whatever way, if it was an audition, whatever feels right to you, just whatever comes to you by instinct.
Sure. Okay. Time is what you need in an emergency. Time saved with highly skilled doctors and nurses. Over time, we've built our hospital to accommodate your needs, because when life hangs in the balance, the difference is time. The new Emergency Trauma Center at Wheeling Hospital. Time is what you need in an emergency. Time saved with highly skilled doctors and nurses. Over time, we've built our hospital to accommodate your needs. Because when life hangs in the balance, the difference is time. The new Emergency Trauma Center at Wheeling Hospital.
Okay, good, Mike. Now, what I want to do now, and that was a nice read, but I want to dial in you. I want to hear Mike Wheeler, okay? Not the radio announcer, but you, the person. So again,
Right.
every script is a story. There's context here. So what we're talking about is the importance of making sure that when there is an emergency, you get to the help you need in time, right? So there's a sense of urgency. It's not excitement, but it's a sense of urgency and importance. It's almost like you can trust us. We've got this. So can you think of a time when you've been in a situation where you needed medical attention, or somebody you love needed medical attention, like pronto?
Yeah, my youngest daughter.
Okay.
My youngest daughter, she was, I don't know, a couple of years old. She aspirated some peanuts. Yeah, quit breathing for a few minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Now, okay. So go ahead and read this. With that in mind, just read the script.
Right. Time is what you need in an emergency. Time saved with highly skilled doctors and nurses. Over time, we've built our hospital to accommodate your needs. Because when life hangs in the balance, the difference is time. The new Emergency Trauma Center at Wheeling Hospital.
Okay, good, Mike. That now I'm beginning to feel your personality. You know, and again, it's about emotion. You have to feel something, and if I feel something, and I'm the person seeking the voice, your chances of getting hired for the job just went up dramatically. Let's take it a step further. I want you to imagine that you're sitting. This is a scenario where, let's say, you're a doctor, and maybe you're sitting at your desk in the office with somebody who needs to have something done, maybe like right now, some sort of a treatment. They don't have time to wait. It needs to be done now. If you were a doctor and you wanted to communicate a sense of urgency, and you're not going to get loud, you're going to kind of lean into it and let them know, just by your tone, time is what you need in an emergency, straightforward.
Right.
Let them know. Right. I want you to feel urgency, and then I want you to communicate that.
Okay. Time is what you need in an emergency. Time saved with highly skilled doctors and nurses.
Mike, let me jump in real quick. Just go back to the beginning.
Go ahead.
And I don't mean to be rude. I just don't want to waste your energy going through it all the way to the end. All I want you to do is this.
Right.
I want you to slow down. I want you to physically relax. Just let your voice drop into, don't force it down. Just let it drop into its normal register. And I want you to speak at about half the volume. Like when you're talking to somebody and what you're saying is, hey, this is some of the most important information you're ever going to hear. So you need to listen very carefully. It's that kind of read.
Okay. Time is what you need in an emergency. Time saved with highly skilled doctors and nurses. Over time, we've built our hospital to accommodate your needs. Because when life hangs in the balance, the difference is time. The new Emergency Trauma Center at Wheeling Hospital.
Good job, Mike. Thank you for volunteering. Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
So again, it's about bringing yourself to the party. People don't want to hire a voice. They want to hire people that relate. So if I were approaching this, and first of all, if I give this to the typical person and say, hey, read this for me, for voiceover, what they would do is, time is what you need in an emergency. Time saved with highly skilled doctors and nurses. And they would give me that big radio announcer read with authority that they think makes them sound professional. But I'm telling you, you'll have a hard time getting hired like that. But by backing off of that and making it very personal, time is what you need in an emergency. Time saved with highly skilled doctors and nurses. Over time, we've built our hospital to accommodate your needs. Because when life hangs in the balance, the difference is time. The new Emergency Trauma Center at Wheeling Hospital. Again, I'm not pushing it. I'm not announcing at you. I'm letting you know that this is important. And so remember, the secret sauce to voiceover is this. Emotion. If you feel it, your audience will feel it. And if they feel something, you're going to get hired. Now, you're not going to be able to do this perfectly out of the gate, nor should you expect that you could. It does take a little time of practice. But could you hear the dramatic difference in the first and last reads of Mike and Kelly, who did our demonstrations tonight? Yes, it was drastic. Now, do you think with some coaching that you could improve your ability? I'll talk to you more about that in just a bit. And that formula of finding the emotion, you will always, regardless of what you do, whether it's e-learning, corporate, documentaries, promos, radio, TV, whatever, the technique may change slightly, but at the core of all of this, it's about finding and communicating the emotion. So here's what you need: a computer with internet connection. All right, we got that. You're going to need a microphone. Again, this is not the only one, but I recommend it because it's affordable with super high quality and it's easy to use. The Apogee mic, the mic I'm using right now. Recording software, you can get Audacity absolutely free. Skype, which is a free download, it allows you to communicate with clients. And something to monitor, headphones or earbuds. I worked for a long time with just my iPhone earbuds, because you don't have to have super expensive studio headphones. Literally, you can use your earbuds. I have to do this. And you'll need a relatively quiet space. All right, that's step 2. So let's take a look at step 3. How to book your first job in the next week and get paid. A lot of people, I would dare say most people, think that the formula for voiceover success is, hey, if I have a great voice and I sound good behind the microphone, I'm going to make lots of money. No, it's not exactly the way it works. You need to understand the right skills, which we just demonstrated, as Mike and Kelly really demonstrated for you. But once you understand that, and you understand there's just a handful of easily learned and mastered business skills and marketing skills, that's when you make money in voiceover. So let's talk more about those strategies and skills. You need the right marketing tool or tools. You got to have the right tool for the job. I love the fishing analogy. If voiceover was fishing, we would need to go to the right fishing hole, right? We need to get where the fish are. In this case, we need to get where voice seekers, where clients are. But we need the right bait. And so I want to talk about that for just a moment. And what we use for bait in voiceover is what we call a demo. It's a demonstration. It's a recording of you reading, of what you're capable of. And you may have heard people talk about voiceover demos and professionally produced demos. And they can, good ones are expensive. And there may come a time in your career when you want to move into a larger pool to play, so to speak, where you will need a professional demo, but you do not need a professional demo for the things that we've talked about tonight, and you can make a very good living doing these things. And so I want to talk to you about how to create your very first do-it-yourself demo. So are you ready to do this? Sound like fun? You're going to like this. This is fun. We're going to transcribe and record 4 commercials. Each commercial needs to be just about 15 to 20 seconds in length. The best place to get commercials, this is so easy, YouTube or iSpot.tv. Almost every TV commercial that's ever been recorded can be found either on YouTube and or iSpot TV. And so here's the format. You want to find 4 different styles. By style, I mean, a beat or friendly or urgent, like the hospital commercial that we just did, or caring or powerful. As long as they're each a little bit different, otherwise, if it's it's just redundant if you read the 4 scripts in the exact same way. So we want 4 different styles. And so what I did is I've taken some screenshots here. I went on iSpot.tv and I actually did this myself. I transcribed 4 commercials for you. So the first one I pulled up, and this only took me a few minutes to do. I pulled up Ace Hardware. I transcribed it, and I decided that this script would be read in more of a friendly style. And so if I were recording this, it might go something like this. Ace has grown to 5,000 stores. That's twice as many locations as the warehouse stores. But we're not just about numbers. We're about helping neighbors, because each one of our stores is a part of your community. Yep, 5,000. That's a lot. So there's the first one. I pulled up another one. This is for CC's Pizza. Never been there. Is it good? I've never been to CC's. It's a pizza buffet, so what couldn't be good about that, right? Lots of options. So I transcribed this. Excited. At Cece's, get the sauced and tossed flavor of your favorite wings, now in your pizza. Buffalo chicken, new garlic parmesan, and new honey barbecue. Wings by the slice, now at the buffet. Just $5 and change, Cece's. Okay, so that's a little more excited. And then I found an Amazon commercial. I transcribed it, and to me, this was more of a regular guy commercial. Do you do your holiday shopping online? Do you stream movies or TV shows? Then you should know about Amazon Prime and that you can try it free for 30 days. Go to amazon.com/free trial now for your 30-day trial and start enjoying the benefits of Prime today. And then one more, I found a Morgan Stanley commercial, transcribed it. This I hear is more of a consultative, credible. Like if I was sitting here giving advice, this is the way I would approach the script. There's a pursuit we all share, a better life for your family, a better opportunity for your business, a better legacy to leave the world. We've always believed in this pursuit. We are Morgan Stanley, and we are ready to work for you. Can you see yourself doing something like that? As I just demonstrated, it's not really terribly complicated. It's something you could literally sit down and begin working on. You could begin working on tonight. And then what you do once you have that demo, you simply go to Fiverr.com because you've set up your account, right? And then you can upload your demo or your demos to that. Now, I want to share with you what I believe is the fastest way to get work. Fiverr, I believe, is the best first place to set up shop. But in terms of just actually getting hired as quickly as you can and getting paid as quickly as you can, ACX is probably the best for that. Actually, let me change that. It's not probably, it is, and I know from experience. ACX.com is owned by Amazon. Amazon also owns Audible.com. Audible is the largest online seller of audiobooks. The reason that Amazon created ACX was to explode, which it has done, the audiobook market by turning more traditional books into audiobooks. ACX is a platform to connect people like me and you with publishers and authors. And I went on ACX the other day, I logged in. And by the way, before I show you this, I just want to let you know that ACX is free. Does that sound good? Yeah, I mean, whenever you can set up an account, it doesn't cost you anything to do. I think that's a good thing. So it's not going to cost you anything. If you have do you have an Amazon account? Anyone have an Amazon account? If so, you can just use that login. You don't even have to create a new account. You already have one. Just use your Amazon login and you can log in. Right now, or at least not right this very second, I took this a few days ago, but at that time, and this is pretty typical, they had over 1,500 titles that they were looking for auditions for. So you can literally go in tonight, and once you have your studio set up, your computer and your microphone, you're ready to record, you could begin submitting auditions literally immediately. And here's a real nice email I got from Mike a couple of days ago. And he said he's freaking out. Good news, but he's freaking out because he just went on ACX for the first time. He was offered, excuse me, two audiobook jobs through ACX. And he's never done one before. So to have two offers immediately, it freaked him out a bit. But it just speaks to the size of the market and the opportunity that's out there. So let's recap. So during this time, you've learned the three crucial elements for voiceover success. We've discovered that using Fiverr, you could literally set up an account immediately. You've learned how to use Craigslist to mine for jobs. You've learned that you can get set up on ACX as well. Also, you learned how to create and record pro home audio affordably. You know that the computer that you have right now is most likely sufficient to do the job. All you need is a good USB microphone and some acoustic treatment and a nice, relatively quiet space to begin to record professional home audio. You've learned that you can download Audacity for free and that you can record and edit audio professionally with that. And that you've learned also how to get your first job in the next week. You know now where you can go to get scripts to create a DIY demo. You know that you need to have 4 scripts of 4 different styles, and you upload those to your profiles or your account on sites like ACX and Fiverr. And that with ACX, you could literally, just like Mike, be offered probably multiple jobs in a short period of time and begin working and generating cash flow almost immediately. Now, wouldn't you agree that what we've talked about today would be extremely valuable for you to pursue? You know, I've shown you the freest, the easiest ways to pursue this. So let me ask you, do you feel like if you follow these steps, you could get a result? Just say yes in the question box. If you feel like if you follow this, you could get a result. Yes? Are you excited about your future possibilities in the voiceover industry? So listen now, as I sit here, I've got two choices. I could take all of this wonderful information, I could keep it in my head and do nothing with it except use it for myself. And that's nice for me. But as a result, I don't get to connect with wonderful, motivated people like the ones I get to work with, like, for instance, Mark Driscoll. And Mark is a bit of a legend in the broadcast and voiceover industry. And the industry's changed a lot over the years. And he said, I, for one, have not been this excited about what I do and will be doing since I broke in decades ago. Bill DeWees changed this old dog's total approach. I only wish I had met him 30 years ago. And then Christy Carlo, she's a former MSNBC news anchor and co-host of Imus in the Morning, which is a big morning show in New York. I think it's broadcast on MSNBC as well. And she said, before finding Bill, I spent lots of money getting training and a demo at a New York City studio. I wish I had found Bill first. And then Terry Badu, who's a recently retired CNN news anchor, who's actually part of my my membership group, monthly coaching group. And then this gentleman, Tom Gott, who contacted me as he was preparing to retire from CNN. And Tom is the answer to a trivia question, which is this: who is the only and first voice to be the voice of CNN prior to James Earl Jones? It's this man right here. Tom Gott is the original "This is CNN" voice. And then he's been producing Robin Mead's Morning Express on HLN for a number of years. But he recently retired, and I coached him and helped him get up and running. And he said he has the ability to make one sound better than ever before. He does this in a very short time. We're talking minutes here. So the second option, we talked about the first option. The second option is I make a little bit of money, though this isn't my primary source of revenue, as I showed you, recording voiceover is. I could also streamline this for you further. So as opposed to painting just a high-level picture of this, what if there was a way that in every step of the process, I could provide resources for you, and I could provide solutions that you could easily follow, almost like a paint by numbers or a point and click. So if you're someone who's serious about taking this to the next level, wouldn't it be nice if I could provide something for you that could shortcut every step, that could help you and give you the strength to make this happen immediately so you could see revenue in the very near future? Would you like that? If so, say yes in the question box. Well, it is with great pleasure that I introduce to you the Voiceover Blueprint for Success, my six-figure VO blueprint plan, which is how to start and build a six-figure voiceover business. The tools, the roadmap, and the specific strategies to begin building your voiceover business immediately and generating income quickly. So tonight, in the time that we had, we really took more of a global view, gave you the compass, but the voiceover blueprint, it's the nitty-gritty. It's the step by step. It's the paint by numbers. It's the point and click where I teach you everything you need to know to build a six-figure voiceover business. Do you want to make a six-figure plus income? Just give me a big heck yeah in the question box. Do you want to work from home? There's nothing much better than working from home. Do you want to spend more time with your family? Do you want to work from where you want to work? And do you want to go from this to hyperspeed, the fast lane? Well, if that is you, then this program is for you. So the first thing is you're going to discover how to use free online resources. Can you imagine what it would feel like to have someone contact you tomorrow morning or within the next few days because they heard your recordings and want to hire you for a job? Well, one of the first modules that you're going to dig into is Fiverr.com secrets. So once you get your account set up and you're ready to roll with Fiverr, you need to learn the strategies to make sure that you're found and hired and get the attention that you want and that you deserve. And here's Robert, who shared that he had his best 2-day total ever, $1,800, mostly from repeat Fiverr clients. You know, the only thing better than a client is a repeat client. And then Gary, you know, who we heard from earlier, who is blown away by the success and that every month he beats the goal that he set for himself beforehand. And Donnie, who made $3,500 in his first 4 months on Fiverr. Also, I'm going to teach you my unusual way to mine Craigslist for jobs that pay $200, $300 and more. What you're looking at, I know this is a little fuzzy, but this is an actual screenshot from my training program, the video. And so what I do is you watch over my shoulder, I log in, I get on Craigslist, and I walk you through the entire process. And we search Craigslist together, and I show you what keywords to use, where to look, and how to make sure that you're finding all of the jobs out there on a global basis. And as you can see, like from this posting right here, hopefully you can see that this is a job that pays $10 to $20 per finished minute. And they're asking for 3 years of recording experience and references. And a lot of people would look at that and they would say, well, I don't have 3 years recording experience. Well, here's the lesson for you just from what you see right here, is that when people say that, what they really mean is, I'm looking for somebody who can give me professional recording. The truth is, they don't care whether you've done this for a week or you've done it for 10 years. Can you provide professional recording? So I've always ignored those kind of statements. When somebody wants to know years of experience, especially when I was first getting started, it's not relevant. They want to know what you sound like. So what I always do is send them my demo, because the demo will tell them what they need to know. So with Fiverr, again, I show you all the different strategies to make sure that you mine it correctly and squeeze everything out of it that there is. And Matt says, this morning he responded. He had an audition almost immediately. It's crazy. I'm speechless. And here's David, who said my Craigslist training was especially helpful, especially when it relates to the keyword searches and what to use. And then here's Keith, who said that my training paid for itself just from the Craigslist training that he received. And here's somebody who got his first 2 radio commercials with a New York marketing firm. And how did he get them? Craigslist, using the strategies that I taught him. And then here's Jack, who is also sharing, and he's gotten quite a few jobs through using Craigslist and using my strategies there as well. Also, I'm going to go into depth teaching you how I use the telephone to work with clients. I literally can get somebody to say yes to me within a minute. And what you're looking at here, this is a screenshot, because what I did, I thought, Bill, if you're going to teach this, I can always tell you what to do, but I always think it's better. Wouldn't you agree it's better for somebody to show you what to do? Does that make sense? Wouldn't you rather see somebody do it than be told what to do? So what I did was I decided I was going to make phone calls and that I would not edit them. I would not take out what I wanted and put in what I wanted. I would just start making phone call after phone call, and I would record it all and make it all available to my students. And that's what you're looking at right here. So this is me making phone calls unedited. Well, I edited out where you hear the person's name or business, because that I wouldn't have the right to be able to share that. But you actually hear the conversation. And I actually landed a job and a new client while I was making those phone calls. So you get to hear all of that and the exchange, what to say, what not to say, what to say after you get the yes, and so on and so forth. And as Rick shared, my cold calling technique has been his most effective tool in gaining new clients. I'm going to teach you how to make online casting sites like voices.com and voice123.com your greatest source of leads. As I mentioned earlier, I'm consistently one of the most listened to talents on voices.com. And a big part of success in voiceover is just getting in front of the right people. So if enough people hear you, does it make sense to you that if enough people to hear you, somebody is going to hire you and give you an opportunity at some point in time? That's always been my philosophy. I always thought if I get in front of enough people, just if for no other reason than through dumb luck, if I just get in front of enough people, somebody is going to hire me. Well, and I teach my students how to do the same thing so that they get hired as well. Something else I'm going to teach you, I'm very excited about this. I have a passive online strategy to ensure that I have people in my inbox every day. And that's something I want to teach you how to do as well. And let me show you. This is actually a screenshot I took of my Gmail inbox. I took this, I think it was last week when I was working on something, and I thought, let me take a screenshot of this and show you. So this was between 2:30 in the afternoon and 8 o'clock in the evening. And during that time, I had 3 clients contact me. These are not auditions. These are just people who reached out to me because of my marketing, my online marketing. And one job was 500, one was 300, one was 600. So just in this 2.5 hour, or I'm sorry, not 2.5 hour, 5.5 hour period of time, that's $1,400 of passive income that came into me. And this is what happens day in and day out. I have people who reach out to me. And, because they see me online, I get in front of enough people that enough people hear me, that a few of them like me, and they contact me. And that's how I get opportunities. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm also going to teach you how to leverage your marketing by learning how to get commercial production companies to do it for you. A lesson I learned long ago in marketing, that it's always much easier to find somebody else's parade and get in front of it than create your own parade. So instead of marketing myself, all the time and being out there pounding the pavement and knocking on doors, making phone calls, and I make phone calls to clients, but one of the things I love to do is get in front of somebody else's parade. So there are production companies out there that you can get in touch with that will actually put you in front of their clients, because they're always looking for voiceover talent for projects, and they work with end clients who need voiceover talent. So they're kind of the middlemen, if you will. So learning how to get in front of that parade and basically attaching yourself to that star gives you even more opportunities. And that's something that I'm very good at, and I do it a lot, and I'm going to teach you how to do that as well. About 25% of all my work comes outside of North America, most Europe, but also I've got clients. And I did work today for a client in Guatemala. Guatemalan avocados, that was a project. But I have clients in China and Brazil and the Middle East, all over. And so I'm going to teach you how to go global and how to work with foreign agencies and with foreign clients, because sometimes it's just as easy to get a job across the pond as it is in your own backyard. So I believe in not leave, I don't want to leave any money on the table. I want to make sure that I'm available for everything that's out there for me. Okay, step 2, I'm going to teach you how to create and record pro home audio affordably. So we're going to talk about budget-friendly choices for pro home audio. You'll get to see it from budget-friendly all the way up to the more expensive stuff when you're ready to do that, but you don't have to do that out of the gate. I'm going to teach you how to scout out the best place in your home. And that may sound easy, but actually I went through a process of several years until I really found the best place in my home. And so just through my experience, I can help you to do that in a much shorter time frame. Also, I will teach you creative and affordable acoustic treatment solutions for your home studio. Also, how to use technology to work in real time globally with clients. A story I love to tell is not long ago, because I just think this illustrates it so well. I was hired to do a job I think the end client was in London, because I had London in my headphones directing me, and then I was connected to Paris into a studio. They were recording me in Paris. So I'm speaking in my mic, they're recording it in Paris, and I'm being directed from London. And I thought, man, this is a great time to be alive and doing this. I mean, 20 years ago, who would have thought that we would be able to do this kind of stuff? So I'll teach you how to do that. Also, you will learn how to edit audio quickly and easily, because the more efficient you are with editing audio, and by the way, if you can work in a word processor, you can learn how to do this as well. It will make you more effective and profitable in the recording end of your business. Also, I'll teach you how to find audiobook work immediately. And here's Mike again, who let me know that he submitted his first audition. Boom, 2 offers. You got to love that. One of the most important things to understand about audiobooks is learning what genres or what niche to focus on. And that's part of my training, where I will teach you where to focus your efforts so that you get the best return on your investment of time, because time is your most precious commodity when it comes to your business. I'll also teach you how to create audiobook characters if you want to do fictional work, and how to get character work in video games, digital toys, TVs, and more. Have you ever just fantasized of what it would be like to have your voice on a cartoon or on a toy or in a video game? How many would you like to do that? I tell you what, there's no bigger thrill. And I've got 3 grandkids, and my kids are past the point of me impressing them. They'll never think I'm cool. It's too late for that. But my grandkids, I still have a shot with them. And when they know that their pawpaw has a voice, on a video game or a toy, they think that's a pretty big deal. So I'm going to teach you how to find voiceover work in the largest niche in this industry, which is narration. And that's a big market. We're talking e-learning, corporate, explainer videos, documentaries, so on and so forth, and how to get heard. We talked about DIY demo tonight, but I actually have a training program, a more comprehensive, in-depth program, step by step on how to do that. So you're going to have access to that as well. Then we're going to move into step 3. I will teach you how to book your first job in the next week and get paid. And I'm going to teach you not just how to get a job or a client, I'm going to teach you how to get a repeat client, because one of the keys to success is not just getting hired, but it's getting hired again and again and again by the same people. It's cheaper, it's easier, it's faster, it's more profitable when you have the same people coming back over and over and over again. And about half of all my work is repeat work. And that's what has allowed me to continue to grow my income. And it makes my job a lot easier, in all honesty. I'll also, teach you how to deal with rates, how to set rates and negotiate rates. And it may sound intimidating if you don't enjoy negotiating. I do not like negotiating, but I've developed some really low key and easy techniques to make sure that not only do you get good rates, but that you can get outstanding rates. How you can simply double, sometimes even triple and quadruple your rate on a single job, but just by knowing what to say and how to interact with a client. I'm also going to teach you my system of collecting money, because it's great to be hired. It's even better to get paid. I have a 99.7% collection rate. And I've never sued, I've never threatened anybody, but I have a system that allows me to communicate in such a way consistently that with rare exception, I always get paid. And if you calculate what 0.03% is of $250,000, you'll find out there's very little money that's left that I don't get, that's owed me. Also, I'm going to teach you how to create a consistent income, because it's one thing to get hired and get a big job. Yay, that's awesome. But then what happens next week, next month, next year? You want a sustainable career. Would you rather have one job that paid you $100,000 and then, you may never get a job like that again? Or would you rather learn how to make $100,000 consistently year after year after year? Of course, this is about building a sustainable future for yourself and for your family. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. Also, I have a pruning strategy that I utilize that allows me to continue to grow while working less. And so I'll be very excited to teach you how to do that. And it's just all part of being business savvy, and it's not complicated. I'm going to teach you how to take time off without losing clients, because you're self-employed, so you have to occasionally take some time off, but you don't want to lose clients when you do that. I'm going to teach you also how to increase your income by using an assistant, offloading things that aren't as profit-making as recording and editing and marketing, so that you can spend your time doing the things that make the most money, which is recording and marketing, allowing your assistant to pick up a lot of the other work, and that will free you up a lot. It certainly has for me. So the value of the six-figure voiceover blueprint program is $2,037. Here's an email from Mark to let me know that he hit his first $1,000 plus day. I love those kind of emails. I'm going to throw in some bonuses as well, okay? And I really wanted to throw in everything I could to make this as powerful and as helpful to you as possible. So here's the first bonus. You're going to get the videos of my live voiceover revolution event that I did this past fall with Dave Fenoy. He's one of America's premier voiceover talent. He does video games, he does commercials, he does live TV, he does promos, he does all kinds of stuff. And he taught folks what to do behind a microphone, whether it's for a video game or for a commercial. And I spent my day talking about next level marketing techniques. And so together, this was a very powerful event. You're going to get those 2 days worth of videos. The people who attended paid almost $400 to be there. So that brings the total of the program, the value, up to $2,434. I want to give you a month. Actually, I'm going to make it 2 months. I'm going to give you 2 months of my DeWees membership. It's a 2-month trial. And what this is a group of people. We have a private Facebook group. And so you're getting support from the members. These are people who are very dedicated to their career and to helping you to build yours. You get interaction with me within the group. We have bi-weekly coaching webinars, events and program discounts. There's bonus training, and you have access to all my archived videos. Now let me talk about what that means, archived videos. I actually stream myself from my studio every day. Everything that I do, It's literally, remember earlier I talked about how much better it would be. Wouldn't it be better to be able to see somebody do something than just be told how to do it? That's what I do on a daily basis to the members of this group. They can watch me, they can see me edit, they can see me do auditions, they can hear me interact with clients, they can listen to me interact with my assistant. And like today, if you've been listening, you'd have heard we talked about negotiating a rate with the client and prioritizing work for the day, just all the stuff that goes along with running a business. You're going to hear all of that. And again, I do that on a daily basis in real time. And then all of those videos are archived so that you can access them. We have hundreds of hours of that for you to hear. And so 2 months of DeWees membership, the value of that is $394. So the total value of this program is $2,828. I have a third bonus I want to throw in, and it's I did a webinar, not a webinar, rather, it was a live workshop. It's my marketing wheel seminar, where I taught the participants how to find an endless supply of prospective clients and how to use a dollars per day strategy instead of a dollars per job strategy, which has allowed me to build a much more lucrative business than the average voiceover talent. So I'm going to teach you all of that, plus my guerrilla marketing strategies that work. And the value of that is $147. So the whole total of the value of the package is $29.75. But I also want to throw in some videos from another 2-day workshop that I did. The thing that's so special about this workshop, it was a roundtable workshop. It was a marketing workshop, but it was a small gathering of people who are doing this on a full-time basis. And what we did is we sat down and we took theory and we put wheels on it, where the rubber meets the road. We fleshed out what this looks like on a day-to-day basis. So the value of watching this is to be able to see real working voiceover talent, understand how to take marketing and integrate it into the day-to-day, and to be able to manage that with the marketing along with the performance and what that looks like on a day-to-day basis. So you're going to have access to that. And those who attended paid $847 for that. So the value of this whole package now is $38.22. I also have a studio reference program that I want you to have. It's called my top 100 voiceover questions. Think of this, it's like an FAQ on steroids. I took the 100 top questions I get asked and I recorded in-depth answers to all of them. And then I organized them and categorized them, so that if you have a question that comes up and it's relating to your performance or marketing or industry or whatever, you can easily find the question and find my in-depth answers. So essentially, it's like me hanging out with you 24/7 with the answers to the things that you're most concerned about. The value of that program is $197. So the entire package value is over $4,000. And I think this next bonus is worth more than everything else combined. We offer there's a weekly coaching group. When you buy the blueprint, you are invited. This is an open invitation to be a part of our 1-hour webinar coaching every week. And it's about, we do Q&A. We want to make sure it's not about, we don't just sell you something, then, good luck. This is about every week talking about what you're studying, what you're learning, what you need help with, what you don't understand, anything that we do coaching, on your reads, whatever you want help with, that's what that's there for. So this is ongoing support for you to ensure that you're successful in your voiceover business. So imagine this, I think the value of this is easily $50 a session. But let's say you attended every year, 50 weeks out of the year for just 2 years. And again, you have an open-ended invitation. But let's say you just did it for 2 years. The value of that's $5,000 alone, which brings the total value of this program to over $9,000. And we've just added another program. This week, this is a last-minute addition. I wanted to make sure you get in-depth Adobe Audition training. For the Adobe Audition is a program that a lot of people, once they begin recording voiceovers, they want to graduate into a more feature-rich program. Adobe Audition is what it's called. The program is it's $20 a month from Adobe. And this is a 6-hour training program that will teach you all the intricate ins and outs of how to use the program, how to deal with, learn to work faster through customization, how to take the headache out of setting up your hardware, get to fix the most commonly made recording mistakes, learn how to edit precisely, quickly, and efficiently, create a polished professional product that helps you win more auditions and keeps your clients coming back for more. And so these are just a few screenshots, as you can see from the program, where we get into the nitty gritty to show you exactly how to work within the program. So let me ask you this. If all I did was help you build a profitable business working from home or the road and could give you the freedom to live life the way you would want to live it, would it be worth it? If I could help you transition out of your current job or make money during retirement and set your own course, would it be worth it? And if I could save you years and thousands of dollars on trial and error, would it be worth it? So would you agree that the best way to get to where you want to go is to follow somebody who's already done it? Basically, what I'm saying is, allow me to be your Mr. Miyagi. I've done this, I continue to do it, and I know how to help other people do the same thing. You can get started right now for just $349, and then 2 additional monthly payments of the same, or you can pay for it all at one time, $997 in one payment. It really doesn't matter, but we'd love to get you started, and you do it at BillDeWeesLive.com/go. That's BillDeWeesLive.com/go. Now, if you're thinking, sounds good, Bill, but I'm not sure, I just don't know that I'm good enough. I want to let you know that I understand that, because that was the thing that kept me from doing this sooner. I really started thinking heavily about this back in the 90s, and I just didn't think I could compete with the big boys and girls. I just didn't think, I was good enough. And now in retrospect, obviously, I wish I'd started sooner. But something that really opened my eyes to this is I was working with a young man several years ago, and I was coaching him and working on producing his demo. And for the first time, I really had questions, and I thought, I just wasn't sure this guy could do it. And I'd taken his money and I'd taken him through this program, and I was thinking, have I done this guy a disservice? And so we finished the work and I finished the coaching, and not long after that, he contacted me and he said, I just want to let you know that I am so busy right now that I have had to hire an assistant to handle the work because I cannot keep up with it. And what that taught me was that desire and passion and determination will trump talent any day. And certainly there are things you need to learn, and there are skills that have to be developed along the way. But don't let anybody ever tell you that you are not good enough to do this. I would love to have you join my team. And I want to let you know that I offer a 100%, no questions asked, money back guarantee. So within 30 days, if you think this is not for you, all you have to do is let me know. And I'm not asking you to decide yes or no today. What I'm asking you to do is make a fully informed decision. That's all. And the only way you can make a fully informed decision is on the inside, not on the outside. So you get on the inside and see if everything that I say on this webinar is true and valuable to you. Then if it is, that's when you decide to keep it. If it's not for you, no hard feelings. Then after signing up at BillDeWeesLive.com/go, you'll be able to make a fully informed decision that this is or isn't for you. But you can't make this decision right now for the same reason that you don't buy a house without first looking at the inside. And know this, whether it's 29 minutes from now or 29 days from now, if you're not happy, I'm not happy. And if for any reason or for no reason whatsoever, if you want your money back, you can get it, because I only want to keep your money if you're happy. So all you have to do is drop an email to me at voiceover, and I'll give you that email in just a moment, voiceoverexpert@gmail.com, and tell me, give me my money back, and you got it in short order. So I can only make such a guarantee when I'm confident that what I have is the real deal. And I'm fairly confident that when you sign up at BillDeWeesLive.com/go, you're getting exactly what you need to build a successful voiceover business. So here's the math real quick. Imagine this $200 job, $200 per job, 2 jobs a day, $2,000 per week over the course of 50 weeks. That's what a $100,000 voiceover career looks like. Although it could be $10, $20 jobs a day. would it matter to you whether it was $10, $20 jobs a day or two $200 jobs, or however it broke down, whatever increments it broke down into? Would it really matter to you? Money replenishes, but time doesn't. And I'd love to get you started right now. BillDeWeesLive.com/go. And this is Eric David. This is a young man I started working with last year, maybe 18 months ago. And he said, if I didn't have Bill to help me transition into VO, I don't know where I'd be. Now I wonder why I didn't do this earlier. Get started now. Again, your first payment just $349, unless you want to make the one-time payment of $997. BillDeWeesLive.com/go. And one other thing, and that is, please know that I'm offering this reduced price, literally like almost 90% off the price, because you're on this webinar. And so, but it's only good for 48 hours. And again, only for those of you who are on this webinar. So you can take advantage of that through Saturday night at BillDeWeesLive.com/go. Let's take questions.
Okie doke. Let's see. Any questions? If you have them, put them in the question box. I'll be happy to read them to Bill. Any of your questions, just put them in there and I will read them. So let's see. Okay, so question here, and my computer is glitching a little bit, so I'll just read it to you. Do you have a formula for determining how much time I should expect to take to record an audiobook based on the word count of the book?
Well, I can tell you this. A finished hour of audio, meaning fully edited and ready to send in, is going to be about 160 words equals about a minute. So that's how you can calculate the finished time of a book, 160 words approximately per minute. The rule of thumb is to record it takes about 3 to 4 hours to record 1 hour of finished audio once you have a basic skill set. For me, it's less than that, but just because I've done it for so long. But that's how you calculate that.
Okay, so Kelly, who I think read for us earlier, is saying, is there plenty of work for women in this field? I guess we didn't touch on that. There is, isn't there, Bill?
Oh yeah, I would say, and there's no way to know what the exact percentage is, but it looks to me from the auditions that I see, it's pretty close to half, men to women.
Okay, Greg's question, do books require you to use different voices?
Well, only if you're doing fiction. If you're doing fiction, then you've got to represent different characters. But just a quick note on that, it's not, a lot of people think it's like doing cartoons. I have to create these characters that are completely separate from each other and not identifiable to my voice. And that's not the case. With audiobooks, for instance, I'm a guy. If I'm reading an audiobook and I have a female character, nobody expects me to sound like a female. I'm not tricking or fooling anybody. The audiobook narrator's job is to create separation of character. So for instance, let's say I have a man and a woman. So for the man, my voice, I might just slow down a little bit and relax the pitch of my voice. And if it's a woman, perhaps I'll pitch it up a little bit, maybe talk a little faster, just to create a separation of character. But that's how you would do that for fiction.
Next. Now, this question from Jason, he says, how long will it take to get your first job? We've had people get it. How quickly, Bill?
A matter of days. My goal for you would be to have your first job in the first week.
Okay, there you go. What kinds of jobs, Eric is asking, are most likely to pay residuals?
Well, if you want to get into residuals, audiobooks, that's one way to do it, although it's not extremely lucrative, the residual end of things in audiobooks, unless you get a New York Times bestseller. But realize there's usually only 100 books on the New York Times bestseller list, or if there are more, not a lot more. And so the competition for those is a lot steeper. The only other way to get residual is really getting into like doing national commercials through union work. And again, that's a very small pool, highly competitive. Not to say you couldn't do it, but that is a long-term goal. So
are you a union guy, Bill?
No, I am not union. Nope, I am not. I do not get residuals.
Got it. Okay, so Chris is asking, this is a great one because we hear this all the time. 25 plus years of radio, tough to learn, quote, normal voice?
Yeah, it is. And I was in radio for 20 something years myself, and I have to fight it every day of my life. But you can recover. You can become a real person again. It's possible.
Chris, there's hope.
There is.
Bill's done it. Vern is asking, any other script styles to use when making a demo? I know you mentioned 4, but are there others? I'm sure there are plenty, right, Bill?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, those were just off the top of my head. I mean, you could look at it broadly. Like for instance, you could say high energy, but high energy could be high energy urgent, or it could be high energy excited, or there's intense could be almost like angry, growly, or it could be urgent. I mean, there's so many nuances. It'd be impossible for me to go through the list. The key is just to show difference. That's the main thing. Just make sure they're different.
Good question from TJ here. As a professional sports announcer, is it possible to transition from that to a truly good VO artist?
Oh, absolutely. And again, you're going to face the same thing like you saw earlier pictures of Mark Driscoll, who's a former radio guy, and Christy Carlo, who's a news anchor for MSNBC. I mean, these are all people, including myself, who come out of a broadcast background. And sports announcing, it's the same thing. So your paradigm is performance. It's all out here. It's all big. We're pushing everything forward. Whereas in voiceover, it's a more intimate, not always, but it's usually a more intimate, emotional type of read. But you can do it. You can learn. I did.
I think I'm going to read into Austin's question here. What types of jobs are typical from Fiverr? Meaning, do you only make $5 a shot?
Oh no, yeah. And it used to be that way years ago when they first started, but now, like I said, we've got people making full-time livings and six figures in Fiverr. But there's everything. I mean, commercials. As a matter of fact, I saw an ad today of a friend of mine pop up on YouTube that I recognize his voice, and I know he did it. He does stuff through Fiverr. So TV commercials, corporate narration, e-learning, audiobooks. There's all kinds of stuff.
I heard somebody the other day said he did a job on Fiverr, and after all the add-ons, he got to $120 for the job.
Yeah. That's the way to do it, and that's what the program teaches you how to do.
Greg is asking, does YouTube teach you how to use Audacity?
Oh yeah, there's hundreds of hours of instruction on YouTube about how to use Audacity.
Eric is asking, is it possible to have an audition before committing to the course for you to get an idea of what my potential is? Eric, let me tell you, Bill, how would you respond to that? So Eric's concerned that his voice may not be enough.
And one thing, yeah, and let me tell you, unless here's the thing, if you have a speech issue, like a serious physical infirmity that keeps you from speaking, and if that's the situation, yeah, then you probably shouldn't do this. But otherwise, that's never the issue.
Okay. Let's see, Mike, if you have a question about anything regarding the program itself, you can always direct them to me. You don't know, Bill, I guess I'll put I can put my information. If you need to and you want to, you can always text me, but make sure and put there you go. Text me any questions that you have. That way I can answer them. And if you do, make sure and put your time zone so I don't call you in the middle of the night. We did have a guy just last week who was from Copenhagen, Denmark. So let me know if you're from another country as well. Jason, I've wanted to do this all my life and had no idea how to do it. Can you teach me to have confidence to actually do this?
Well, confidence doesn't come through being taught as much as it does through doing it. I mean, I can teach you, you could be trained for years, but the truth is the first time you do your first job, you'll probably be pretty nervous. I was. And sometimes I still get nervous. I've done this for years and I still get nervous sometimes when I do it. But what I do have is confidence, and it's because I've done it hundreds and now thousands of times. And so each time you do a job or an audition, you gain confidence. Confidence comes through doing. It comes through doing. At some point, you just have to do it. And this course will teach you how to do it so you can gain that confidence.
Wallace has got a good question. How many hours on average are you actually working personally with your voiceover business?
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm going to say about 6 hours, give or take. I mean, I'm in the studio full time, but a lot of times I'm running around. There's other things I have to tend to, but I'm actually in the business of recording or working with clients in the more of the 5 to 6 hour a day range.
So we're saying 25 to 30 hours a week, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. There's a lot of other questions, but Bill, I think let me just pick a couple here. Do you do accents in your demos? Randy's asking.
No. And let me tell you why. Excuse me. It's so easy to hire somebody with a native accent. It just doesn't make sense anymore. If I need an English accent, I'm going to, I can go online and find an English talent. If I need somebody with a, Nigerian accent, I can go online and find somebody like right now. It just, it doesn't make a lot of sense these days.
Well, we've kept people beyond our 90-minute promise, and there are a few other questions. If you have any others, again, you have it right on the screen there, voiceoverexpert@gmail.com, or you can text me. I'm Fred, and I'm at the number right there on the screen, 702-423-9945. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks, everyone.
Good to have you.
Night.